Welcome to Nation of Glory. Roman Reigns' journey to the WWE Championship began long before he ever touched the gold, long before the chants, boos, cheers, or acknowledgments. It began when he was still carving his identity, far from the tribal chief he would one day become. The WWE Championship represented a different stage in his evolution, a time when Roman was not yet the established ruler of an era, but a rising force fighting through expectations, resistance, and the weight of his own destiny. These earlier reigns were the stepping stones that molded him, shaped him, and prepared him for the dominance the world would eventually witness. When Roman arrived on the WWE main roster as part of the Shield, no one immediately predicted that he would one day carry the company's most prestigious title multiple times. The Shield was a unit built on destruction, unity, and relentless energy. Roman emerged as the powerhouse of the trio, delivering spears with thundering precision and enforcing justice with a cold, unflinching demeanor. But even within that faction, the hints of a future champion were visible. Roman possessed an aura, quiet, strong, and unbreakable. Whether fans liked it or not, the company clearly saw a future centerpiece in him. But a future champion must first withstand the storm of doubt. Roman experienced that storm early. When the Shield disbanded, the WWE Universe shifted its attention to the next solo megastar. Roman was thrust into the spotlight, positioned as the next face of the company. For some fans, this felt too sudden. The reaction was loud and divided. Instead of being embraced, Roman became a polarizing figure. Every time he stepped out, the sound of the crowd told the story of a young superstar caught between the company's vision and the audience's expectations. Yet Roman kept moving forward. The WWE Championship became the mountain he was destined to climb. His first taste of the championship scene came in the form of heartbreak and controversy. The world watched him battle through tournaments, rivalries, and grueling matches designed to test his endurance. Roman's early attempts to capture the WWE Championship were met with obstacles at every turn. Sometimes it was authority interference. Sometimes it was betrayal. Sometimes it was simply timing. But Roman endured all of it, and every setback carved another layer into his steadily growing legacy. When Roman eventually won his first WWE Championship, the moment came with an emotional intensity that only the most resilient journeys can deliver. The victory wasn't just about winning a title, it was about proving he could rise above resistance. It was about seizing the destiny that seemed both promised and challenged. Roman's first reign was short, surrounded by controversy, but powerful. Fans who doubted him began to reconsider. Those who supported him celebrated with pride. And Roman, standing tall with the gold, felt for the first time what it meant to be the face of WWE. But champions are tested by storms, and Roman's storm arrived quickly. His reign was cut short, and he once again found himself climbing the ladder. These constant ups and downs defined the early years of Roman's WWE Championship journey. His second reign showcased a stronger, more determined competitor. The company placed him at the forefront of battles against superstars who had defined previous eras. Veterans pushed him to his limits. Critics challenged him. Rivalries intensified. Roman's second reign allowed him to sharpen his identity, shaping the fighter who would one day dominate the world. One of the most defining aspects of Roman's early championship story was his resilience. Even when fans booed him, even when the crowd seemed split, Roman pushed forward. He didn't turn away from the pressure. Instead, he embraced it. With every title match, he learned to channel the crowd's energy, whether negative or positive, into fuel. His WWE Championship matches became statements. Whether he fought against legends or rising stars, Roman carried himself with a presence that demanded attention. Roman's third reign as WWE Champion brought another shift. The world saw a competitor who had matured through adversity, someone who no longer looked like a man fighting for acceptance but fighting for excellence. He carried the title with a hardened sense of purpose. Every defense became a moment where Roman displayed strength, determination, and willpower. His matches grew more dramatic, his in-ring storytelling more refined. Roman was no longer just a powerful athlete, he became a master of pacing, intensity, and emotional delivery. These early reigns also revealed something audiences would later recognize as one of his greatest strengths, the ability to evolve. Roman's personality, attitude, and presence shifted throughout his championship runs. He adjusted to the crowd, learned from the pressure, and handled high-stakes moments with a calm that only true main event stars possess. WWE Championship opportunities shaped him into someone who could headline any event, anywhere, anytime. Roman became a symbol of persistence. Fans watched him rise, fall, win, lose, get back up, and fight again. These cycles earned him respect even from those who once doubted him. The WWE Championship had become more than a title, it became the mirror reflecting Roman's growth. By the time he held it multiple times, Roman had proven that he was not a product of hype. He was a warrior forged through challenge, missteps, and redemption arcs that captured millions worldwide. This version of Roman was vastly different from the tribal chief the world would later meet. But without these early chapters, the modern Roman Reigns would never have existed. The WWE Championship helped Roman build the foundation of the storyteller he would become. Wrestling fans began to see him as a man who could carry high-pressure main events, navigate mixed crowd reactions, and still deliver memorable matches. Roman's early WWE Championship reigns became training grounds for the greatness he would one day achieve. As Roman defended his title against names like Sheamus, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and others, each feud tested a different dimension of him. Sometimes he had to showcase physical power. Sometimes he had to display speed and agility. Other times he had to tap into emotion. This versatility shaped him into a complete performer. Whether the crowd cheered or booed, Roman embraced the noise as part of his journey. Roman's connection to the WWE Championship was also tied to his family legacy. The Anoa'i bloodline had produced some of wrestling's most iconic champions, and Roman understood the weight of carrying that legacy. Every time he entered a championship match, he carried not only his own dream but the spirit of generations behind him. His earlier reigns paid tribute to roots that ran deep in wrestling history, connecting him to legends who set the standard before him. Roman's fourth and fifth experiences with the WWE Championship introduced even more emotional layers. His struggles, victories, and frustrations played out on television in ways that made fans feel like they were watching not just a character, but a human being fighting for respect. Roman's journey wasn't simply about dominance, it was about growth. He had to learn how to handle success, failure, and the weight of expectation. These elements became stepping stones toward the champion he would later become. Even during moments when the audience turned against him, Roman learned to carry himself with dignity and conviction. He knew that greatness required time, endurance, and the willingness to push forward when the world tries to pull you back. His WWE Championship reigns in the early years stand as proof that his career wasn't an overnight rise. It was a journey carved through effort, resilience, and a deep desire to fulfill his potential. As years passed, Roman's reputation grew. His championship victories no longer felt like the company selecting him, they felt earned. Fans who once doubted him now acknowledged his heart, skill, and consistency. These early reigns aged beautifully in hindsight, especially once Roman evolved into the tribal chief. Looking back, fans realized that without these earlier chapters, full of conflict, confusion, and emotional growth, the later era of Roman reigns would not have reached the depth and excellence that defined it. Even after Roman became the tribal chief and captured the Universal Championship for a historic reign, his earlier WWE Championship legacy remained an important foundation. People began revisiting his older matches, discovering how much his style had evolved. They noticed how his expressions, pacing, and ring psychology matured over time. Roman had become a world-class storyteller, but the seeds were planted long before the Bloodline era. Those early WWE Championship reigns were the beginning of a larger transformation. Roman's evolution into a global superstar can be traced back to those first championship moments. The lessons he learned from crowd reactions, rivalries, and high-pressure matches shaped his understanding of performance. When he held the WWE Championship multiple times, he was still learning who he wanted to become. He was experimenting with identity, voice, and presence. These explorations laid the groundwork for the confidence and command that would define his later domination. In many ways, Roman's early WWE Championship reigns represent a journey through fire. He walked through resistance, criticism, and growing pains. He stumbled, got back up, stumbled again, but continued pushing. And with every title win, he proved that no amount of crowd reaction or storyline pressure could break his spirit. Roman had the heart of a fighter, the resilience of a leader, and the drive of a champion who refused to be defeated by doubt. The story of Roman Reigns' WWE Championship reigns is not one of perfection, it's one of perseverance. It's the story of a man striving to find his place, earn his respect, and carve a legacy that would one day become undeniable. Those earlier reigns were more than accomplishments, they were the shaping of a future era-defining superstar. Roman learned to rise through criticism, fight through pressure, and embrace the challenges that came with carrying WWE's most prestigious title. In the end, Roman's WWE Championship reigns represent the beginning of his rise to greatness. They were the chapters that taught him strength, patience, adaptation, and conviction. They formed the backbone of the champion he would later become. They served as the training ground for his transformation into one of the most iconic figures in wrestling history. And although the world would one day know him as the Tribal Chief, the foundation of that greatness began with these earlier WWE Championship victories. They were the first proof that Roman Reigns was destined to lead an era, destined to hold gold, and destined to stand at the top of WWE's mountain. Follow, subscribe and like.